Hello students, now we are going to explain the biology topics which are remaining for your Nmms exam. So water, as we have studying from class 6th, 7th and also 8th. So we know that the sources of water are from, mostly we depend on rains for water, rivers, lakes, ponds, pools. So these are the different sources of water. So the water which is present on the earth, it is 97% of the water is salt water which is present in oceans and seas, and 2% of the water it is in the form of glaciers, that is ice. It is also fresh water but it cannot be used as it is in the form of ice, and only 1% of water is fresh water which can be used for drinking, agriculture and other purposes. So as the fresh water is only 1%, we have to conserve water. The World Water Day is celebrated on March 22nd. So most of the water daily we use for different purposes. They come down as liquid waste. So the liquid wastage of water which is all flowing from our schools, home, hospitals, it is known as a sewage. So there are many impurities present in the water. They cause different types of diseases, water related diseases. So the impurities in water, they are known as contaminants. So these wastewater can be treated in the treatment plants in 3 different steps: physical treatment, chemical and biological. So through physical, bar screens are used. If at all any rags, sticks, cloths, they can be removed by using bar screens physically. Through chemical, the chemical used is chlorine and sometimes ozone also passed for chemical treatment. And biologically, air is pumped so that aerobic bacteria, through aeration, they grow and decompose any waste present in the water and they can be clarified water. So in this manner, the wastewater can be purified and used for different purposes. Next is soil. As we know, we depend on the soil directly or indirectly. It is a good habitat for many plants, animals and also microorganisms. We depend on soil for agriculture, construction, making utensils and toys, etc. Here, water, there are different types of soils. We know sandy soil, clay soil, loam soil. Yes, the water passing down through the soil particles is called as percolation. The percolation rate will change with different soil types. It is high in case of sandy soil and in low in clayey soil. Next topic is forest. So forest is our life. We depend on forest for many purposes. 19.3% of the geographical area of our country is covered by the forest area. It is also a good habitat for many different kinds of plants, wild animals and also some of the tribal people. They live in the forest for their livelihood. They collect different forest products such as timber, resins, oils, lac, honey, firewood, rosewood, fodder for animals, etc. So here forests, they are called as the lungs of our earth as they take up large amount of carbon dioxide and other harmful particles and keep the air clean. Hence forests are known as the lungs of our earth. And there are different types, 2 types of forests we see: hot and in humid regions in equatorial, and cold areas they are alpine forests. Next topic is cell. We know that cell is the basic unit of life. It makes up the structural and functional unit of life also. Antony van Leeuwenhoek is the first to observe living bodies under microscope. Robert Hooke first observed the cells in 1665 Cork cells. Robert Brown discovered the nucleus. In Latin, cell is known as the little room. The smallest cell is of size 0.1 to 0.5 microns. It is observed in bacteria. And the largest cell is the egg of an ostrich, which is of size 17 centimeter into 18 centimeters. We see diversity in cells. We have different cells for different functions in our body. The longest cell is the nerve cell. And if an organism is made up of only a single cell, then it is known as the unicellular organism, for example, bacteria. And if an organism is made up of many cells, then it is known as multicellular. Examples are plant and animal cells. In the scientific naming of any plant or animal or microorganism, it is following binomial nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature means it is made up of two words. The first is genus and the second term is the species. For example, mango. Mango, the scientific name of mango is Mangifera indica. Mangifera indica. Mangifera is the genus name and indica is the species name. The next topic is microorganism, the world of microorganisms. So here microorganisms are the smallest organisms which we cannot see with our naked eye. We need an instrument to observe the microorganisms. It is microscope. So under microorganisms there are harmful microorganisms and also useful microorganisms. How they are useful? See, for example, yeast, it is helpful in bread and cake preparations, and they are also of medicinal importance. They are useful as antibiotics. For example, penicillin, it was discovered by Dr. Alexander Fleming. They were awarded the Nobel Prize in 1945 along with Dr. Howard Florey and Dr. Ernest B. Chain. And aureomycin or tetracycline, it was discovered by Dr. Yellapragada Subbarao. And Dr. Jonas Salk, he discovered vaccine for polio in 1952. Dr. Albert Sabin, he discovered the oral polio vaccine in 1957. And Dr. Ronald Ross, he discovered that female Anopheles mosquitoes are the carriers of the malarial parasite. And Louis Pasteur, he invented the pasteurization technique where it is used for the preservation of milk. It is heated up to 72 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 minutes and then immediately cooled and preserved. And he also discovered anthrax vaccine and also rabies vaccine. And there are certain microorganisms which cause diseases not only in plants, animals. See, like diseases like TB, tuberculosis, Mycobacterium tuberculosis, cholera, typhoid. So like this, many diseases are caused by the microorganisms. In case of animals also, like in anthrax in cattle like sheep, goat, cow, etc. Foot and mouth disease in fowls, poultry, fowl, fox and rabies in dogs. We can also see plants also get affected by this microorganism. Citrus canker by bacteria, red rot of sugarcane by fungi, Tika disease of groundnut also by fungi, tobacco mosaic virus by virus, smut disease of rice by fungus. Food poisoning is caused by bacterium Clostridium botulinum. Next topic, the age of adolescence. Adolescence is the age from 10 to 19 years. It is the age between the childhood and adulthood. It is also known as the reproductive phase of our life. There are many changes taking place in this age, physically, biologically and mentally also. There are a lot of changes occurring in the children with this age. So during this age, the reproductive phase, there are hormones are going to get matured. Hormones are the secretions of the endocrine glands. Now we'll see some of the hormones. Testes secrete testosterone. It helps in the release of sperm and development of the secondary sexual characters in males. And ovaries, they secrete two hormones, estrogen and progesterone. They release ovum, causes menstrual cycle and implantation of the embryo and secondary sexual characters in females. And pituitary gland is the master gland. It secretes growth hormone. It helps in the growth. Follicle stimulating hormone. It helps in the formation of the ova in females and release of sperms from the sperm sacs and to stimulate the sperms in males. And luteinizing hormone. It causes the egg to burst out from follicles and flow into the fallopian tubes. Next hormone is the adrenal. It secretes adrenaline. It controls the emotion. It is also known as fight and flight hormone. The next topic is biodiversity. Here we find three different terms. Extinct are the animals or plants which have been extinct, vanished from the earth, which we cannot see now on the earth. They are known as extinct. If they are ready to get vanished or disappear from the earth, then they are known as endangered species. And endemic species, you can find this in a particular area only, restricted area. For example, kiwis in New Zealand and kangaroos in Australia. So these are endemic species. So the detailed information about extinct and endangered species you can find in the Red Data book or Red Data list. And national park and sanctuary, they are the places for conserving the wildlife. Next topic is ecosystem. Ecosystem is the interrelationship between the biotic and abiotic components. The term ecosystem was coined by A.G. Tansley. A.G. Tansley. See here, abiotic components are soil, air, water, sunlight. These are the abiotic components. Biotic components are plants, animals, microorganisms. They depend both on each other. And next is food chain. Food chain is the one animal eating the other animal depending on. So the chain continues. The food chain consists of three trophic levels: producers, consumers and decomposers. Producers are mainly plants which produce the food. Consumers are going to consume the producers. It is of primary, secondary and tertiary consumers. At last, decomposers. Decomposers are also known as scavengers of the earth and they are also recyclers. Last is, we should know the composition of air. Here nitrogen is of 78%, oxygen 21%, carbon dioxide is 0.03%, argon it is 0.9%, water vapor it is 1%, other traces of gases it is of 0.1%. So if at all any disturbance in the air, then it causes in the natural environment like air, water, anything, it is known as pollution. Okay children, thank you.